Welcome to Jobsharing and Beyond, the Future of Work podcast that goes beyond the traditional 9 to 5. I am Karin Tischler, speaker, consultant, and host of the show, where we hear from global experts every other week to discover innovative solutions and tips on how to remain a relevant employer in the future. Welcome to the Jobsharing and Beyond podcast. I'm your host, Karin Tischler. Originally, I'm from Germany, but I'm living now in Vancouver in Canada. I'm a consultant and a speaker with a master's in economics and a history of work in global management consulting and research. And more than that, I have a very personal connection to advocating and consulting on new forms of flexible work. But don't just listen to me. Many recent studies have shown that people want and indeed need a different type of work. And that's what this podcast is all about. Not only staying relevant with the needs of the ever-changing workforce, but helping you lead those necessary changes. For example, recent studies have shown 30% of employees left their jobs because of lack of flexibility, and that's based on a US study with 7,000 respondents. 80% said that flexible working hours increased their productivity, based on 18,000 professionals across 96 different countries. And finally, 83% of US millennial parents said that they would leave a job if it did not offer adequate family benefits. Millennials are now making up more than a third of the US workforce. And then on top of that, an often forgotten but very important aspect is that there are professionals who are actually not currently in the paid workforce, such as stay-at-home parents or caregivers of elderly relatives. And they often struggle to return back to the paid workforce because of lack of flexibility. And how do I know this? I was a stay-at-home mom myself for 11 years, also known as unpaid care workers, and I talked to many fellow parents who struggle to return because of the lack of flexible jobs, professional jobs in particular, here in North America. Now, given my professional research focus, this led me to conduct best practice worldwide interviews and research over the past 2 years. And I found out that many European countries are actually much further along with their focus on flexibility and work-life balance. However, not everybody has been sharing their expertise with the English-speaking world, and given my German and European background, I decided to create this podcast to allow everybody to learn from these amazing and successful trailblazers and pioneers. My interviews focus on a variety of topics on how to get to a more flexible work setting. As the title says, I'm talking to job sharing experts that have helped organizations implement job sharing programs, organizations who are successfully offering job sharing, as well as top sharing, and that's basically the executive version of job sharing. And then I will also be talking to actual job sharers themselves. There are also other innovative methods that relate to new work intersectionality with female economic empowerment, but often are applicable for everybody else. And this led me to name my podcast Job Sharing and Beyond. And you will hear from leaders and practitioners who have shortened, for example, the standard work hours, moved to a more part-time employment offerings. They have returnships, which are basically internships for returners, and organizations that are changing societal perceptions by showcasing their data and success stories. Learning about their insights may help to convince potential skeptics in your organizations why it is critical for future successful companies to get closer to gender equality and to offer more flexible aspects of work than ever before. I really look forward to going with you through this journey together, and I truly hope that my podcast will give you new ideas, insights, and the courage to change your organization to make it a more flexible workplace and make you become the flexibility trailblazer in your industry. Welcome to Jobsharing and Beyond. Thank you so much for listening to the show. We hope you gained valuable insights and new ideas. To keep listening to future episodes, please head over to iTunes or your favorite player and subscribe and give it a rating. We would very much appreciate a review and for you to share it on social media, so more people can start innovating in how they offer employment. Until the next time, goodbye!